This is going to be super interesting. See, we always talk about OneUI because it's feature-rich, NothingOS because it's clean, HyperOS because of super smooth animations, and then there's ColorOS because it has so many different names. But there's one Android skin that we never talk about, and I think it's super underrated. I'm talking about the XOS that you find on Infinix phones. Yes, this Android skin has a lot of features and some of them are practically very useful. In fact, some of the features are not available on any other phone and they are quite cool. Plus, this skin has one big advantage that I'll talk in the end, but let's check the features first. The first feature that took me by surprise is Social Assistant. With this, I can do a lot of different things, but the most important is that it can let you record WhatsApp calls without any hassle. I know, Nothing's Recorder app also lets you do that, but that's more of a workaround. This, in fact, is a real feature. So when you're in a WhatsApp call, just tap here and that's it. Your recording is on. You can head over to the Recorder app and you'll find it there. Pretty cool, isn't it? Apart from that, you can change your voice to prank your annoying friend, because why the hell not? And when you're on a video call, you can replace your beautiful face with these realistic avatars. I say realistic because they react quite well to your eye movement, mouth movements, and even the hair moves very neatly. Lastly, there's this screen flash feature that lights up the edges of the screen, making it easier to take video calls in the dark. And it even works better than WhatsApp night mode. When it comes to anti-theft features, there's obviously power of verification that ensures that no one will be able to shut down your phone without the password, but it's quite common these days. What's interesting and quite rare are the unlock capture and theft alert. With unlock capture turned on, if someone tries to unlock your phone and make 2 consecutive failed attempts, the phone will automatically take the photo of that person and upload it to the cloud. This is a great way to identify the thief or that one creepy friend who tried to unlock your phone while you were asleep. And the theft alert feature is useful in situations where you are charging your phone in a public area and it's out of sight. Now, once the charger is disconnected, phone starts ringing. If you have unplugged the phone yourself, you can stop the alert by simply unlocking the phone. But if someone else thugged it out, it won't stop ringing. This can prevent your phone from getting stolen right then and there. Great, isn't it? Now, this is a nifty feature and it lets you use your phone in public or in metro without having to worry about anyone else peeking into your screen. It simply creates a very small window of visible portion on the screen and everything else is grayed out. So only the content of the window can be seen by others. By the way, you can also adjust the size of the window and change the transparency of the grayed out part as you like. I just wish Infinix also integrates while typing because the keyboard shows up like this. This is again a very useful feature. Here's how it works. You can just long press on any photo, text or file, drag it to the sidebar and it will be stored temporarily in the Smart Hub. Now you can just do a simple drag and drop to share them wherever you want. I know, it works exactly like File Dock on ColorOS, but it's pretty useful and I think it should be available on all the phones. This is again a very important feature and I think Google should incorporate this natively. With blank data, you can trick apps into thinking that they have got all the permissions, but in reality, they just got blank permissions. This is very useful in situations where you just want to try out an app, but you're not comfortable giving them access to your real data. In fact, a lot of random loan apps get access to their users' data and they call their relatives and friends and harass them, which is just wrong. This feature can most certainly prevent these cases. With this feature, you can give blank contacts, blank call logs, SMS, and even blank calendar permissions. Now, I do remember ColorOS bringing this feature in ColorOS 12, but it's not available now. Not sure why. First of all, you can generate AI wallpapers, but there's a limit of 6 per day, which is kind of weird, but it's okay. There's also Folex Assistant, which feels like a budget Gemini, but it can do a lot of on-device actions, such as reducing brightness, network controls, and even opening apps. You can also ask it a lot of complex questions, and it can answer quite well. Plus, if you're reading something online, it can look up the information for you and even summarize the whole thing if you're lazy like me. And not just that, you can generate and optimize text and even check grammar. See, if it were flagship phones, I wouldn't be surprised, but we are talking about Infinix here and they sell budget phones, and on those phones they are providing these features, which is really good. Apart from all the features that I already talked about, there are some more features that I genuinely did not expect in XOS, but I'm glad to find them there. First one is repair mode. It works pretty much like the maintenance mode on Samsung and prevents the access to your personal data when you want to send it for repair. It also gives you the option to back up the data in cloud, which is cool. There's X-Hide, which is basically a secure folder to hide your media and apps, and again, it's similar to secure folder in Samsung and Moto. You also get the Smart Touch feature that lets you extract text from images with this simple gesture. Remember the big advantage that I talked in the beginning? It's time to talk about that. I tested two Infinix phones this year, the GT20 Pro and the Note 40 Pro. In GT, there was no bloatware at all, and in Note 40, there was just one, and that too could be uninstalled. Not bundling the bloatware is actually the big advantage for Infinix. Now, the reason I say it's a big advantage is because you either have to choose clean software experience or features. There's no other company in the budget segment that provides both, and Infinix stands out in that area. They not only give a ton of features, but also keep the UI pretty clean. I hope they continue doing that. See, Infinix is launching value for money smartphones at a very competitive pricing, and surprisingly their software is feature-rich and bloatware free. But even after all that, no one really talks about them, and that shows in the market share too. I think I can tell where the problem is. First of all, XOS does not look as appealing as it should, and that's probably the reason people don't take it seriously. I think they should redesign their UI so that it starts to look like a skin from 2024. Secondly, I think they should highlight their software even more, because it's really tough to compete in specs but fairly easy in software, especially because they have all the features baked in. There's no ad, bloatware, everything is sorted. And lastly, they should focus on giving timely updates, because that's one way of saying that we are going to provide long-term support and we genuinely care about our customers' experience. So yeah, that's it from my side. What do you guys think about the XOS? Tell me in the comments, and I'll see you very soon.